Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to take a 2022 Halloween Village home tour. I think I'm done setting up probably 99% of the villages in our home and the vignettes. And so same as we did last year when I first started the YouTube channel, I can't believe we're celebrating a year. In many cases, a year together. I started this hobby and you guys kept asking for a YouTube channel on social media, and here we are a year later. So we're gonna kind of go through and look at the decorations for 2022. Just take you on a quick home tour and kind of explain the thought process behind it and what I like about it the most and what I like about it the least and what was easy to build and what was difficult to build. And I think you guys will enjoy that. I certainly enjoy showing this stuff off. And yeah, if you have questions or comments, like always, make sure you leave those and I'll answer any questions that you have on the way we set it up and everything else. And I'll kind of give you a tour of really everything, not just the Department 56 pieces, but also our fall decorations and things like that, just to let you see the whole house as it's been decorated and ready to get this fall and Halloween season underway. And so we'll just kind of start at the front door and start the tour. So with that, I'll meet you there. Okay, so this is coming through our front door. Obviously this is the front door, but we've got these fall flowers with these lights on them. My wife actually got these off of, I think it was QVC. I don't know how many years ago, and they've been through numerous moves with us, and they're 4 seasons, 3 or 4 seasons. You get a spring, a fall, a winter, and a summer. So I think there's 4 different seasons that you use to decorate. They've lasted forever, but those are at the front of the door. And then as you come in, this is the first piece that you're going to see. This is our Haunted Mansion display for this year. And so we absolutely love Disney, and so we wanted to kind of capture Mickey Mouse and some pumpkins and some fall leaves down on the bottom, and then up to the top, you'll see the display for the Haunted Mansion. And I absolutely love this display. I think I have room right here for the gate, but it probably won't look right. It'll be sort of oblong sitting in there, but I'll probably do another display base next year to incorporate the gate and probably be a little bit bigger and a little more dynamic, but still it'll have the queue line and the ropes and the stanchions and things like that. And then you can see the latest of the singing busts that are in the kind of the courtyard there. And what I like about this is if you zoom in real quick, I don't know if most of you, I'm sure a lot of you have certainly been to Disneyland, but there is a pet cemetery kind of coming up along the sides there. And I found these little tombstones with these little dogs on them. So they kind of fit perfect through that cemetery for the pet cemetery. And then obviously we've got the hitchhiking ghost, and then we also collect Jim Shore stuff, and and occasionally on certain items. Well, certainly you got to have the Jim Shore hitchhiking ghost, and then over here you've got the Jim Shore doom buggy with the hitchhiking ghost. And then we got this table runner, I believe, off of Amazon, and the Haunted Mansion plaque in the back at Spirit Halloween. And then these creepy looking busts we got, I think last year at Michael's, if I remember right. And then always, we've had this Haunted Mansion picture from Disneyland for a while. It's framed and kind of hanging where the mirror would normally go. And so that is, as soon as you come in, that's like the first thing that you see. And then around here, the second thing that you're going to see is coming on this side, you'll see obviously a pumpkin there with a W on it, and then a Happy Halloween sign. Now, I made this sign at a place called Board and Brush. It's a place where you can go and they do crafts. They kind of walk you through the whole process, but I wanted something Halloween, so I made this last year. in anticipation of it going up here. And then what I'd like about it is we've got the bats coming out here, and then you can kind of see the bats continuing up to the top there. And so that kind of symbolizes those bats coming out of that picture and continuing to fly up the wall. And then if you come in here, this is sort of my office. This is my coin display case from all of my years in the military, but it's covered up right now, and it's got the house on Niebolt Street promptly displayed in front of it. You've got Georgie down there with his boat. You've got Pennywise, and you can see the LEDs pretty good inside the house, and that's Christmas lights inside the house, if you remember from watching the tutorial. And then I added the purple LED for Pennywise and the green LED for the porch. And so it lights up pretty good. Not too crazy about the backdrop, at least here, but we've got some more work to do on this display. I would not call this one 100% yet. I told you guys I was going to do a fall display this year, and I haven't had an opportunity to do that yet, and I have envisioned it going here. So I wanted to set everything up just to kind of see how it looks, and I'm pretty pleased with it, honestly. My wife had the idea of going out to, and we went to Joann's to get this fabric, it's fall fabric, and basically we just snipped a couple of holes in it to hide the wires underneath, and it works actually pretty good. A very simple way, if you don't want to carve anything, to hide your wires and still have a pretty classy looking display. So I've got a few pieces here. I got Jack's Pumpkin Carving Studio, which is one of my all-time favorite unicorn pieces. Absolutely love that piece. I've got the Pumpkin Patch Farm sign. I've got the honey hive. You saw the review on that and all the little associated pieces that go with it. We've got the pumpkin tower, the fall truck, and then the apple barn, which is another one of my all-time favorite pieces. So I absolutely love that as well. And so until I get a permanent display, this is how we're going to decorate this year. And I think it looks great, honestly. It does not look too bad. And again, a very easy and simple way to kind of take care of a vignette or a small little village without having to go through and cut and carve and paint and all that other stuff. You can do it just like this, simple. And I'm going to do a tutorial coming up on how to do very simple vignettes without very much carving, if at all, and kind of do some tutorials on that, especially if you have a small village or just starting out. Okay, so we come in, and then let's flip the camera around here. Sorry, the camera's going crazy. Let's see. Okay, somebody else wants to do a cameo here. I am so sorry. Okay, there we go. And I've missed the dogs and everything else. But anyway, so we continue those bats kind of going up this wall here. And this is kind of looking into my office back there, and then back into the Disney Haunted Mansion. And then we come to another awesome, this is one of my favorite pieces ever. And this is the Haunted Cemetery, right? Or the Rest in Peace Crypt Cemetery that I used to display. Only 6 crypts. So somebody was asking, are you going to make a bigger one? I guess I could. I just don't know where I'd put it. This fits pretty good here on this table. I may consider doing that or expanding the one that I've got. But I love this piece. I've got it stocked full of just everything. You can see the imposing monuments, how well they fit into this. I ordered 2 sets originally, and when I saw the size of them in Millie's Hallmark, I said, I only want a set, because I don't know how they're huge. But then once I saw them in this display, I went back in preparing to teach another class out there at the end of the month. I was doing some talking, some research, planning, and I bought another set of them because they're so incredibly cool, and you gotta have them. And so when I continue this, either a bigger graveyard or cemetery or another village that has a cemetery in it, I'll absolutely be using some of those. And then you can see, here, what's up, buddy? There's Justice. Say, hey, buddy. He's a good dog. He's a 93-pound Czech Shepherd, and he follows me everywhere I go. He's such a good-natured animal, until somebody comes in or knocks on the door, and then he's a 93-pound trained killer, it seems like. And so we got these trees, these bigger trees on Amazon. They make them in two, well, maybe more sizes, but we focus on two sizes, an 18-inch, I think it is, and a 24-inch. And so these are the 24-inch on Amazon. They're battery operated and they have a timer. So when you turn them on, you don't have to worry about turning them off. They go off, I think it's 6 hours later. And they take 3 AA batteries. And you can get them for probably 25 or 30 bucks for 2 of them. So about $15 a piece, but they add so much flavor. If you kind of back up here, they add so much flavor to the village. It's just, to me, it's a must have. So anyway, that is the cemetery with a good look at that. Now you'll notice we've got the 2022 crypt properly displayed there with Medusa. We've got the 2021 crypt back there, and then we're going to do reviews on those here shortly in the next day or so on both of the 2020, I think we did the 2020, so 2021 and 2022, those 2 crypts right there, and we'll be done with this series minus the Day of the Dead crypt. Okay, so enough with the cemetery, but that's kind of how that lays now. And then coming back into our kind of the master hallway here for the bedroom, we've got a couple more of those trees, 24-inch trees, and then we've got the Mickey's Pumpkin Town here. And somebody asked me if I was gonna get the house for this year, the little haunted Pumpkin Town house, and I still might. I didn't want to have to focus on putting it here. I just don't know where I'd put it. I'd have to rearrange some stuff, and I'm sure I could make it work. But for those of you that have followed me for some time, you know that I'm symmetrically inclined to make sure everything works. So if let's say, for example, if I wanted to put that house there with some fall leaves around it, I have no idea what I'd put there, and that just doesn't work for me. There's got to be something there to balance it. I'm really big into symmetrical displays to make sure that it's balanced. But you can see how that kind of fits right into the little hallway there going into our master. Looks good. The mountains, I showed you this on the tutorial, but the mountains are actually 2 mountains that are glued together with a divider in the middle. And then I've got some orange LED lights down in between there that kind of help to illuminate that. And I love this village or this Pumpkin Town vignette because everything is so orange. We've got the orange trees, you've got the orange mountains, everything is orange, really, except the base itself and then the big silhouette of Mickey Mouse there to kind of help symbolize that this is obviously part of Disney. So absolutely love this piece a lot. So maybe more to come on this piece as we maybe buy those other pieces. Okay, so let me see if this thing will turn around here, and then we will go into this area over here. This is our formal dining room, and this is where I have Manor Row. So I've updated Manor Row quite a bit this year. I put a different backdrop up. You've probably seen this in some of my videos or some of my photos being used in some kind of the bottom or the surface area for some of my review videos. So we cut it, and then it goes up there basically the way, if you saw my Christmas one, it's got some Velcro that's Velcroed and stapled onto the fabric in certain areas. And then like right here, if I can zoom in on that, you can kind of see that Velcro, and that's a command strip that is up on the top of that there. And so the command strip helps to keep that fabric up there. And then that hides all of the cords. And then in any open spots, I just throw a bunch of fall leaves to kind of fill the scene. And there you have it. So we've got the Victorian house. We've got a bunch of trick-or-treaters. We've got, I've tried to really fill this scene up this year with a lot more people. So in the off season, I was really focused on finding a lot more filler and people to get this scene to kind of work right. We've got the vintage signs from this year sitting out. They look great inside the village. And then you can see in the background the orange, and then up front kind of the yellow bushes. Those are the bushes that I showed you how to you just plop them off and stick them onto the display. And you can see how they look when they're outfitted into a set or a diorama or a village. They look really, really good. And so that's a really quick way. And then there's the trees that you've seen me make. The same trees, same concept. You fill your village with trees. You can never have too many. You guys know we're dog people by just you're seeing Libby and Justice. We also have a yellow lab named Indy. She's 14 years old, so she's getting up there. But got a couple of dogs here in the village. And then I obviously got another dog over there in the wheelbarrow. And then got a couple of dogs down here, and as far as trick-or-treating is concerned, they're here, and there's the other one there. So you guys know we like dogs. So that takes care of that. Then we come back, and so let's talk about the lights real quick. So the lights are, and I still need to do a tutorial on this, and I will get around to it, I promise you, but these are Department 56 lights, and basically I've cut them, the cords off, and then lengthened them with some very small gauge wire, and then made them to the proper length to where they basically just fit right underneath this foam and run straight to the back, all the way down the back. And so you've got one long wire that goes all the way down the back, and then you've got feeder wires that come into each individual light to help power that up. And then it just plugs into one of those 3 little adapter plugs, and then you're good to go. You can get the street signs to sort of add some realism to that as well. And then you've got one of my favorite unicorn pieces in the entire world is Mordecai Mansion. Then you got old Mordecai himself with another dog out there, and the doghouse. Then we get to the pumpkin patch. So I switched the pumpkin tower out this year for this year's, I think it's this year, maybe it was last year's Frankenstein. But it was last year's Frankenstein, but it's this year's Happy Halloween lit billboard. And I like it because it says Grimsley Manor at the top. And you can see that up closer to the top, kind of hidden by the light, but you can still kind of make it out. And it's open late, Happy Halloween, fun for the entire family. And the cool part is Grimsley Manor sits right there. So that's sort of kind of like an open house advertisement for that. And then you've got the pumpkin patch. A lot of folks have asked me about the little green vines. You get the green vines. I got them on Amazon from basically it's a O-scale train pumpkin patch. If you type that in, you'll get some little pumpkins. I just throw those away. I use these potpourri type pumpkins. Actually, they're not even potpourri type pumpkins. They are these are little pumpkin pods. If you type in pumpkin pods, that'll come up on Amazon or eBay or anywhere else. And you just get a whole batch of those, and they'll last you forever. And so that's how that works. And then I love these lit jack-o'-lanterns. They add so much flavor to the display. And people are always asking me, so how did you get them up there and how are they lit? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Tonight and tonight only. Everything is, these are all wired together. All 6 of them are wired together. So I've got a wire that is feeding this from the back. And then if you pull this up, I got to be really careful here. You can see the wires going underneath and running through a tunnel to the back of the display. And then when you put this down, you don't really notice it. I notice it because I know it's there, but if I had never told you about it, you would have never seen it. And then these are stuck down with this little adhesive, little dots. As a matter of fact, let me show you those. If you don't have these, you need to get these. Do not judge me when I open this little junky drawer. Instant Tacky. These are little clear dots that you put on. I've got them on my street signs. I've got them on every light pole. And I've got them on these pumpkins that are sitting at the pumpkin patch. They work like a champ. They are absolutely amazing. And then we come down through the rest of Manor Row, and you've got Grimsley's, we got some more of those signs, we got some more of those bushes in the back. We got Gravely Estate here. And you got this is this year's Department 56 trick-or-treaters. Then you've got the kids with the toilet paper. And once I saw this, I'm like, I have got to get that. I found it on eBay for a pretty reasonable price. And then obviously cut some strips of toilet paper and put it up in the tree. And it fits perfectly with these little clowns down there destroying somebody's home, or at least their tree, all in good fun. And we've got the last sign over here, and then you've got the Haunted Mansion. I was lucky enough and able enough. Now this is the green roof version, but I was lucky enough to get my hands this year on a black roof version. The very limited quantity, very hard to find. Got a really good deal on it, and a lot of it went to charity, so it's a win-win. So I was able to get that and add it to my collection. I just haven't displayed it, but it's in it's really good condition. So, and so is this one. There's nothing really too much wrong with this one. Okay, so that is that. So now if you were coming in here, there's my boy laying there again. If you look here, we've got some more decorations here. We've got the harvest sign, we've got a pumpkin over there, and then up above the TV, we've got sort of our fall display, the pumpkin patch, just obviously it's lit up there. And again, you can, we try to do everything with a smart home, so you can change the colors of everything by just asking your personal assistant to do that for you, if that's what you want to do. So you can change that to orange or purple or whatever the case may be. But that's that. And then we come back in through to our kitchen area. And then in this nook, we have got, this is Sleepy Halloween. And so I love this display. And above it, we've got another Disney ceramic pumpkin, and then got some purple fairy lights and some tissue paper, just white tissue paper in there to kind of mask over the openings in the eyes. It gives it that kind of a purplish, eerie look, which it looks pretty cool. And then you come down here to the Sleepy Halloween, the gift sets from Department 56. These are the 18-inch variety in those trees, because the 24 was too big to fit under the little hutch here. And you guys have probably seen the tutorial on this, but I love the way the sign ties everything together. I love the way the water turned out. A great idea for the waterfall. And I got that from you guys on the channel. I had no idea what I was going to do, and a couple of you suggested to kind of terminate that in a waterfall. And I think it turned out wonderfully. I probably wouldn't have thought of that on my own. So this is a total team effort here. And then obviously the rest of the display here. Love this piece. It turned out quite nice. And again, when I made this, it was made to go in this area here. I've only got, I mean, you've seen the everywhere I display, there's not that, I don't set up tables and things like that yet. I may get to that point, but so I've got to fit everything on an existing piece. And so this is kind of where we're at with this one, but it fits wonderfully in there. Okay, and then if we go over here, we have got just another little fall display. We found these, this is called Patch and Fang. We got those at a local market up near, I think it was Prescott, this was a few years back, and then just outfitted it with something. We like repurposing things, so we probably found those at a secondhand store and then repainted and repurposed those to make them work, and then a little windmill. And so just another little fall display. And then if we come around here, we get to the final part of the tour. And so you saw the tutorial on the Ouija board, and I love the way this turned out. I wasn't exactly sure where I was going to display it, but I think this turns out to be a pretty cool spot. Love the skeleton hand that kind of sits up there. Now, I did not, so if you see this, and you know my wife, don't let her know. She actually knows. I did not glue the planchette down, but it hasn't moved so far, so I think we're pretty good. I think we're okay. It hasn't moved. It hasn't summoned anything into our home that we didn't want to be here, so that is a good thing. But I love the nostalgia of this piece. I love the way the orange lights everything up. I love the two accessories. Don't be a scaredy cat. And I can't remember the name of that one to save me, but Midnight Mischief is the name of that one. So I guess I can't remember it. But I love those two accessory pieces. I love the way this kind of sits there. I just love it. It's very nostalgic to me. Then we get into the latest one that you've seen, and that is the Creepy Circus. And so you can see the Creepy Circus is completely done. I did stick some fall leaves back on the fence just to kind of give it a little more flavoring. And then you can see the lights around the top and how they flash, and you can see the lights underneath if I take a step back on how that looks. I absolutely love the effect on this. I love the vibe that it gives off. It's just it's a really cool piece. I had a lot of comments on the missing kids stickers, or the little cutouts, and those are actual. I mean, those are kids that I just searched. Missing kid posters from Deary. For Pennywise or the movie It, and I just shrunk those down on the printer and cut them out and used that same tacky tape that I showed you a minute ago and stuck them right there to that pole. But love the way this turned out. Very, very pleased with the way everything looks. It's very, very old, very grown up, very nostalgic. You can almost smell the food, all the food that's not good for you at this circus. I love this sign. I actually changed the sign a little bit to so I just used one of the, I think it's Procreate on my iPad, and changed the lettering to, I think it was some other town, but I changed it to Deary to kind of match that. And then if you look in the back here, trying to get under these, it's hard to get under the wires and over the fence, but then you got Pennywise standing back there, which is really creepy, kind of in the very back, right by his poster, to kind of keep watch over the patrons that are visiting the circus. And obviously he's the reason for these missing kid posters up here. And so I just like the way it ties everything together. It's one of my favorite vignettes for this year, and I'm very pleased with the way this turned out. And then the last piece that we've got displayed is the sewer scene with Pennywise. Now, UNESCO, which is Department 56 Parents Company, released a bunch of little creepy dudes this year. Pennywise was one of them, so when I saw that at the store, I was like, well, I gotta have that. And this is about the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's cool, but it is creepy. This is a solar-powered bobblehead of Pennywise. Is that not creepy? It just works automatically. So when you turn the lights off, he slowly stops, and when you turn the lights on, he starts slow, but then he gets to about that speed. And I picked him up at Spirit Halloween this season, just a few days ago, for probably, I think it was 12 or 13 bucks, but I saw it and I'm like, I gotta have that. And so here's the sewer scene that you've seen. You saw the tutorial on that. I've only got one maiden voyage, so that's the little Georgie figure, and you already saw him in the house on Nebolt Street. So I need another one. So if you know where any are, let me know. And then I also picked this sign up at Spirit Halloween, the same time I picked up this Pennywise, and it's basically the Deary Herald. It's a wooden sign is what it is, and it kind of says the bodies of the missing kids found in the Deary sewer system. And oh, by the way, the Deary Carnival is opening this weekend, so bring your kids out. 4 big days, which I think is pretty appropriate because you've got the sewer scene right here, and then you've got really the carnival, which is kind of adjacent to it. And I told you guys I wanted to put the Pennywise, the house, sorry about that, over where the Ouija board is, but it was just simply too big, and it did not look right putting it there. It's way bigger than that vignette there. So. Well, that's it, guys. That's a look, pretty long look, honestly. I was about that's a little while of showing you around the house, but that's it. That's the entire tour of this year's Halloween decorations inside our home. Okay, well, hopefully you had as much fun touring around the house as I did showing you around the house. I think it looks great. I'm very pleased with the way All of the vignettes and the village has turned out this year. I've still got some things I want to do, but let's go into a couple of things real quick. One, I've used this whole counter space for something other than Trick or Treat Lane, and there's really no place right now to put a Trick or Treat Lane, which is very unfortunate to me. And so I've got to figure out some things and some space requirements and figure out how we're going to do that. So I don't know for 100% certain that I'll be doing a complete Trick or Treat Lane this season. Here's what I do know. I've had a lot of you ask me to teach the techniques for building a curved pieces like you saw in that Trick or Treat Lane village. So that is coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to take a couple of sheets of foam and we're going to build a 3-house small corner style vignette that you can put anywhere. You can make it part of a larger village. You can use it by itself, but it'll be a complete curve. It'll be cobblestone. It'll be a sidewalk. It'll be some stairs. It'll be double and triple height. And it'll have a lot of cool looking homes on that piece. So in light of doing a full-blown trick-or-treat lane, because I just really don't have a place to put it right now, we'll absolutely do that, and then I'll teach you how to do that. So you've got that to look forward to. I do want to do a fall village. You saw the fall village now is sitting on a piece of material, which is fine. It looks good. But at some point, I do want to get that taken care of. And then I also want to do the scary farm. I told you that's on the agenda for this year to do, and it remains on the agenda for this year to do. It's probably going to go where the Sleepy Halloween is, and I'll just rotate displays in and out of that area every year or every, whenever. But it'll probably be sized very similar to the Sleepy Halloween, only it'll be a creepy, rundown farm using a lot of cool materials and buildings and things like that. But we'll get into that. That'll be a future build tutorial series on all of that. I will, once I finish the Rest in Peace Crypt series, I will then go into the Trick or Treat Lane pieces, and we will review those pieces, at least the ones that I have in my collection. I don't have nearly all of them. I do have a few, and so we'll review the ones that I have. And then as we get closer to building that curved section, I'll review specifically the homes or the houses that we're going to put on that. And then we'll get started with that series as well. That's going to be a really cool build. I remember when I did the Trick or Treat Lane, I started with that curved piece and those 3 houses, and all by itself, it looked absolutely amazing. It was kind of the centerpiece of the rest of it. And then I just built a mirror image of that on the other side to kind of wrap it around. So you'll get to see that. So, hey, we're going to close this one down. It's been a pretty lengthy video, but again, hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. I enjoy hearing from you. I enjoy answering your questions. There's no question off limits, so ask away. If I don't know the answer, we'll try to figure it out together. And again, if you've liked this video, make sure you click the like button. Continue to share my videos to help the channel grow. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. Speaking of the channel growing, subscribe to the channel so that way you get notified. If you click the little bell icon, you get notified every time I put up a new video. You can go right away and watch it, or you can put it in your things to do list and watch it at your convenience. So until next time, take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you again real soon.